What up, friends? So Steam recently blocked all NFT games from their platform, and I want to talk about this a little bit as someone who has worked with thousands of gaming live streamers and content creators, and also as someone who has done a lot of consulting in the space, but also as someone who does believe in blockchain technology, whether that is crypto, NFTs, DAOs, or anything else that comes as a result of this huge innovation. So I'm going to share kind of my perspective on this whole situation. Hopefully y'all will learn something no matter which group of people you are in. If you hate NFTs or if you love NFTs, this should be very illuminating for you. So the first thing that I want to talk about is just why did Valve do this? How did this happen? So there's a game called Age of Rust that is an NFT game that was listed on Steam. They said they'd been very upfront with Steam about being a blockchain game. But recently, Steam came out and said, you know what, we can't accept any blockchain games on our platform. The reason for that being because Steam has a problem accepting games that have real world value, right? Which essentially means that any game that is making people money could be considered problematic and they don't want to have in their store. Now, there's a couple of reasons that I take issue with their admitted reasoning here, which I don't think this is actually the reason. One is because a few years ago, I can't remember exactly which year, but Steam actually got into a bit of a legal battle with Washington State, which is where Valve is based, about what was it, Big Fish Casino. So Big Fish Casino is obviously a casino gambling game. Washington State ruled that the tokens in that game had real world value and that Steam was not allowed to monetize in that way because it interfered with like gambling laws essentially. So gambling laws are actually pretty complex for content creators. Even doing something like running a giveaway and giving subscribers or followers additional entries into that giveaway can be seen as gambling, and you can get in a lot of trouble, especially in states where gambling is legal and illegal, if that didn't come across. So essentially what Steam had to do is protect themselves from this idea of being a platform that supports gambling, right? However, if we look at the Big Fish Casino example, or even the example of blockchain technology and trading with NFTs, initially it seems a little silly because we've got games like Team Fortress 2 with their huge hats economy, or we've got CSGO where you can sell literally like fade karambits or like I don't even know. I don't play CSGO, but a lot of these items will sell for hundreds of dollars. Even a game I used to play, Dota 2, was they have items in these games that are worth real money. However, because I'm assuming here because those physical items can't be used or like I don't know. I genuinely don't get this because these items have real world value in the in these ecosystems that are already in existence. Why is it that blockchain and NFT technology is not allowed when they seem to be very similar? In fact, a lot of the gamers that I have talked to, whenever I bring up NFTs, they say, well, don't we already do this? Like, we've got CSGO marketplaces, we've got marketplaces for every single game where I can buy items. Why does it matter if it has NFT technology attached to it? And that makes me feel like this reasoning by Steam is not quite truthful. Now, part of the reason that they could have made this decision is because gamers are not super crazy about NFTs right now. Even a lot of the developers that I work with or other streamers and content creators that I work with feel like they're a Ponzi scheme for rich people and they don't see any real world utility or value in them. And that is massively problematic. If you know a decent amount about blockchain, NFT technology, even cryptocurrency, you know that there is a huge potential for innovation to happen in this space. We could literally actually build the Oasis from Ready Player One. But in order to do that, we have to convince gamers that it is worth it. Now, gamers traditionally are very how do I say this with as much love in my heart? They tend to be very gatekeepy, okay? Don't lie, y'all do. I know you. Anytime that true innovation comes to the gaming industry, there tends to be a heavy dose of skepticism that comes along with that. Whether it is new forms of technology or something like stream coaching, gamers are very protective of their space and they very much are skeptical of people who make any vast changes of the way that things have always been done. And so a completely new technology that claims to revolutionize everything, which they haven't seen revolutionized yet, all they've seen are these NFT projects that are making rich people even richer. Obviously, they're going to have a level of problem with that. And this is why all of the comments on that Age of Rust announcement on Twitter were congratulating Steam for not including blockchain games in their lineup of games on the platform. As of right now, gamers are not convinced that NFTs and blockchain technology is really going to be that revolutionary for them. Now, I personally attribute a little bit of this to just a lack of understanding about what the technology actually is and what it does. But that's because, especially the NFT space, has such a huge problem right now with that level of, with the awareness of all the types of projects that exist inside of it. So, as of right now, all anybody on the outside is seeing is all these generative NFT projects that honestly are kind of just investments in the art, which isn't a bad thing. We all want artists to make more money, and we don't want the starving artist reality to be a reality anymore. Artists deserve to be paid for their work, and I don't think most people would disagree with that. However, if that's all that people are seeing whenever they're on the outside of the space, how do they know that there are millions of people in the Philippines that are making more money playing Axie Infinity than they would make in a normal job? How do they know that there are tons of people being lifted out of poverty with blockchain tech and NFTs? How do they know the great impact that this can have on the medical community and our ability to access information quickly and have that information be accurate and verified? How do they know all of the things that blockchain tech can do when the only thing that they see are NFTs that are making people millions of dollars? The only thing they see is the negative press and the scams. And why would they feel excited about learning more about the technology itself when everything that they've seen so far makes them feel like it's unethical? That makes sense to me, at least. I get it. I get why they're not super invested. So what we have to do, I think, in order to get gamers on board is we have to show them all of the ways that blockchain tech and NFTs and DAOs and cryptocurrency are solving real world problems and helping people who aren't just the already wealthy people who can afford to invest thousands of dollars into NFTs. There's a huge disconnect right now where gamers don't feel like like NFTs and blockchain technology is available for the average person, which is what it's the identity that a lot of them identify with, is that they're relatively average. And I hope that doesn't come across as like, oh, you're just average. Like, that would be a little douchey. That's not what I'm trying to say, but like they very much identify with being the underdog. And that's been such a huge part of the identity and the culture surrounding gaming for a long, long time that, of course, they don't identify with something that is seen as, oh, hey, let's just invest all the money that we make. Haha, just kidding. What money? So, what's the resolution of this? As it currently stands, I think Steam is allowed to not allow blockchain games on their platform. That is totally their right. They are an independent business. They should be able to run everything as they wish. However, the market will be the market, and people, the millions and millions of people who are using blockchain games in order to make a living for themselves, are going to find other platforms in order to do that. There's already blockchain specific gaming platforms as a solution to Steam not existing. Also, Epic CEO Tim Sweeney said that the company isn't interested in touching NFTs, but that doesn't apply to the games in its store. They recently came out with an email this past Friday that said that they are open to the idea of games that use NFTs or cryptocurrencies. So, more than likely, what's going to happen is Epic is going to start releasing all of these blockchain and NFT games. Hopefully, people will start trying them out because they'll learn more about the good that this technology is doing. And then eventually, Steam is going to have to include them in order to stay competitive. That, or there's going to be a totally new blockchain specific games platform that's going to just rise up because the blockchain community is so supportive of blockchain specific projects. So we'll see what happens. I really think Epic is very well positioned in order to make a huge move here and make potentially millions and billions of dollars. And anytime that that happens for a business, what's going to happen? Every other business is going to copy the product that is creating that situation for the other businesses. So we'll see what happens. I don't view Steam not accepting blockchain games as something that is long term. I think this will be something that they will eventually accept, but for the time being, blockchain games are not popular with gamers, and we have to cross that divide before they do become very popular. Of course, if you want to get short versions of this content, you can follow me over on TikTok at ashnichrist_. Follow me on Twitter if you want to hang out and talk a little bit about blockchain tech and the intersection with gaming. I think that's it. I love y'all so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.